Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, student athletes. It's a pleasure to be here. And I know it's a pleasure for many of you to be here as well. Um, we are standing in the Jamaica Conference Center. Has anyone here ever been in this building? A few? Do you know why this building was created? Okay, so this is Heroes Weekend, and I'll give you one sentence of a little history on this building. Um, this building was created to facilitate Jamaica hosting conferences, international conferences with persons who speak different languages. So it was built many decades ago, before many of us were even born, and it has facilitated several notable international conferences. And if you notice, there is a room back there, a sound room. And in that room, when you have persons speaking different languages, there will be interpreters. And persons, for example, I am speaking English, and persons who do not understand English would have a headset. And they will listen through the headset to the interpreter who's interpreting what I'm saying in English to whatever language that you are able to understand. And as you grow older, and it's expected that many of you will be in that position where you will travel, you will go overseas and you will see and explore other countries and have the opportunity to benefit from meeting persons from other cultures, speaking different languages and all that. And going to college is the first step, I think, where you, as was said before by Coach, you will meet persons from different cultures, speaking different languages, and you have to understand them. Some of them will be your teammates. And as a part of a team, as many of you are here today, you will understand the need to understand each other and the need to be and operate as a team. That's my short lesson in history. We have several schools here this morning, and notable schools: Gainsted High School, Hydel High School, Immaculate Conception High School, Kingston College, Kingston Technical High School, Merle Grove High School, St. Andrew High School, St. George's College, St. Hugh's High School, Women's High School for girls, or the girls section, and Excelsior High School. And I applaud you all for coming here this morning, for making the time to be here, making the effort. I know that probably today is a holiday for most students, and I notice that everybody's in their school uniform, and I applaud you and your school for doing this today, because one of the things that I have learned is that each of you, the schools that you attend and the leadership, value you, value your education in every way. They value how you grow up, and they want you to do well in life. I think that's a general statement. I think it's very pointed, and I think it's very true. And when we live in a society nowadays, and we hear, all of us have cell phones, I'm sure, the war is going on in this world in different parts. We have to acknowledge that we are blessed, and that we still have people who care and love for us, and we must embrace it. Don't take it for granted, I must say. Each team here, or each group from each school, I'm pretty sure that the captain of your team is here with you, or if not, I'll ask for the most senior person from each team to raise their hands. Immaculate, okay. Idel, okay. What's that school right there? Woolmar's, okay. In the back, oh, all is Idel? Okay, great. And St. Hugh's. So you have a responsibility, the team leaders or captains, to take the message back to your teams. We certainly could not have the entire team from every school here, and we had to make some decisions as to who is to be here. And you have that responsibility to take that message back of what you will hear today, and you will hear and learn from some good persons who have been there, done that, persons who want to help all of you. And you've got a taste of it from Coach Brown already. And among the lineup today, Minister Alanda Turlong will be here later on today. He's a minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And Minister Turlong was present at the first summit several years ago, demonstrates his commitment to the youth of Jamaica. I see on the program Mr. Garth Gale, president of the J3As, and many of you, most of you, or all of you are track and field athletes, and you will hear his perspective of what he does for the Jamaican students in building character as you grow to be seniors. Some of you will grow to be professionals in track and field. Some of you will take your learnings and do other things in other disciplines. You have an opportunity to get a track and field scholarship. Don't take it lightly, it's a big opportunity. Several persons here had that opportunity and went to colleges, whether local or overseas, and benefit immensely. I was not so blessed with that talent, so my parents had to pay for me to go to college. It was not easy. Likewise, my children are not so blessed with athletic talent. And my responsibility as a parent says I have to give them the best education I can, and it's not cheap. I've learned in the last few years when my daughters needed to go to university that it's a lot easier to get a track scholarship than an academic scholarship. It costs you a lot less as a parent to get a track scholarship or a football scholarship than it is to get an academic, a purely academic scholarship. And we must not take that for granted. We must work hard on the track and the field. We must work hard in the classroom. The ultimate scholarship will see you getting a good track scholarship to a D1 school with a good academic background, and you'll get room and board, meals, medical facilities, training facilities, good facilities. Do not take it for granted. Do not think you're entitled to it. Work towards it, work for it, appreciate it, listen to your coaches and your academic guidance counselors, and make the best of it. I heard a question earlier on about social media, and the coach responded, again, back in my time, there wasn't much social media and there wasn't much cell phone. So we didn't have that level of distraction as students. At the same time, we didn't have that level of information at our fingertips. We had to go to the library and we had to do research through books. Nowadays, we Google everything, and that's great. Gives you easier access. The world now, for students, is a lot more simpler to find information and to do research. But you got to be disciplined, and you got to avoid all the distractions. And schools, look on your social media pages. Just like nowadays when you're looking for a job, your employer or prospective employer, they're looking at your social media pages. So you have to behave in a certain way, and yes, you might feel constrained. You might feel constrained. But at the same time, it's for a good reason, and you should be aware of it. You should be aware of how you carry yourself at all times, whether in training or out of training or at parties, and be disciplined, because you don't want that wrong message getting out about you that may harm you later on down. Just as how we can Google everything and find information, some employer can Google something and find something you did 10 years ago and kind of blacklist you without saying it. And I say this to say that that's another warning for you all. And it's a good thing, but sometimes it's not a not so good thing with the social media and the presence of the cell phones all around. We're going to have a good day of discussion. It is intended to be interactive. So as we started earlier, feel free to raise your hand and ask questions in a respectful manner. Respect for the presenters as well as your brothers and sisters around you. And enjoy the day. We're going to provide some surprise gifts and giveaways, some nice lunch down here in downtown Kingston. And all the best, and hopefully our paths will cross in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, President Miller. All right, so in order, as promised, I have 1,000 credits here. So the 1,000 credits, I'm going to call on Gainstead first, and the question is going to go to the most senior member of that team. And I'm going to ask you, what is your takeaway from Mr. Miller's presentation? Where's Gainstead at? Gainstead? What is your takeaway from Mr. Miller's presentation? It is your takeaway, not what I'm... By the way, this is the format. So again, end of the day, so Dan and I were talking last night, and we said, how do we define success from a summit like this? If you can take one thing away from today to make a better person tomorrow, that's success. So it is what your takeaway is. I can share with you my very first day of high school at CALABAR, I saw 3 student athletes being presented to the student body as getting a scholarship for track. I went home that evening to my mom. Mom, I want to do track. 6 years later, it was my turn. I got my scholarship. That was my inspiration. So we're hoping today that there's one thing that resonates with you that can influence you and impact you in the future. Gaines said, you want a question?
On the presentation I received from
Mr. Miller?
yes is to be careful what you post on social media.
That is a fantastic takeaway. I hope everyone can really buy into that and understand that your brand name is now part of your social media presence. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome Ms. Trishana McGowan to speak, and she will be covering balancing academics and sports. Round of applause for her, please.